In one of my recent videos, I mentioned that the Hebrew word Baal, sometimes pronounced Baal, was used for God. From this, I received several comments and emails concerning this. People were under the impression that Baal was a god that Israel was commanded not to worship. Let's take a look at Judges 2:13. And they forsook the Lord and served Baal and Ashtaroth. Now here, the word Baal is used for a deity that Israel was commanded not to worship. However, I believe that the confusion here comes from an incomplete understanding of Semitic names. Now, I think most of us are familiar with the concept that Hebrew names are Hebrew words with meaning. For instance, the name Ur is found here in Genesis 11:28. This word Ur in Hebrew is spelled exactly the same as the word or, and they are the same word. And or means light, as seen in Genesis 1, verse 3. In Genesis 5:32, we see the name Ham. In this verse, Ham is a proper name, but Ham is also a Hebrew word that means hot, as we can see in this passage. In Genesis 24, verse 29, is the proper name Lavan or Laban. The word Lavan is also used in the Hebrew Bible as a noun meaning white. While the word Baal is used as a proper name for a deity, it is also a Hebrew noun that means master or husband, as can be seen in these passages. In this last verse, the Hebrew for archers is literally masters of the arrow. The noun Baal is also used to describe God, as we see in Isaiah 54, verse 5, where it says, "For thy maker is thine husband," which is the Hebrew word Baal. The word Baal, as we pointed out earlier, is also used as the proper name of a god whose name is Baal. The Hebrew word El is a noun meaning power, might, or mighty, and is used in the following verse, where it is translated as power. This noun is also used for God, as we see in Genesis 31, verse 13, which says, "I am the God of Bethel." Now the word for God there is El, and literally means mighty one, and Bethel, or Bet El in Hebrew, means the house of El, or the house of the mighty one. While not found in the Hebrew Bible, the word El is also used as a proper name by the Canaanites, another Semitic people whose language is very similar to Hebrew. And they worshipped a god named El. In the Canaanite mythology, one of El's sons is Yam. Now, Yam is a Hebrew noun meaning sea. Another son of El is Mot, which is a Hebrew noun meaning death. I think everyone is familiar with the word Satan, which is pronounced in Hebrew Satan, and brings up images and thoughts of pure evil. I think most of us have also heard of the angel of the Lord, which is oftentimes used in the Bible as a euphemism for Yahweh himself. as we can see in the following passages. In Exodus 3 verse 2 it says, "And the angel of the Lord appeared unto him in a flame of fire out of the midst of the bush." And we know that the angel of the Lord in this verse is God, as he says just a few verses later to Moses, "Moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob." Now, would it surprise you to know that the word Satan is used for the angel of the Lord? While Satan can be used as a proper name, it is also a Hebrew noun that means adversary. In Numbers 22:22 it says, "And God's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of the Lord stood in the way for an adversary against him." When reading the Bible, it is very helpful to look up the meanings of the names you are reading, as they will provide you with insight into these people and the text itself.